the second video of the series. Now we're trying to build out a good home gym for those of the listeners out there that may be looking to do this.
Right.
We're going to take a look at resistance bands.
Yes.
Even if you're using plates and you've got dumbbells and you've got all those things, resistance bands as you get older are going to be a tremendous benefit for the way that your body feels. They increase blood flow into your joints. You can do a lot of shoulder rehab. You can do tons of things for your lower body as well. But you just got to get the right types of bands so that you get the results that you're looking for.
Let's start here. I would say let's just start the assumption that we already have a squat rack. We talked in video 1, if you watched it. Squat rack's the cornerstone of your gym. So we're going to work on the assumption that exists.
Right.
And now let's start attaching our resistance bands.
So Fusion Cables is a product that I made, 8-ish years ago. And the reason why I made them was because you got a squat rack or you need some kind of a mounting option at home. When I was a lot younger, I used metal clips on resistance bands, and I got knocked out. One came off the wall, hit me in the back of the head doing these baseball-style workouts, knocked me out cold. So I hate them. I cannot stand pulling heavy things with metal. I do not like it. I think it's extremely dangerous. So I made the Fusion Cables for that. With the Fusion Cables, you get straps on them. What's nice about that, if you've watched video 1 and you've got your squat rack set up, you can wrap these Fusion Cables and feed them through themselves to attach them to the squat rack.
So the only thing that can break is if the cable breaks itself, you're just getting hit with a rubber band.
Yeah, it's just a resistance band, and there's even a sleeve around it, so it literally can't even whip you. It's cloth.
That's gentle.
Yeah, I'm telling you,
someone got knocked out and said, I'm not doing this anymore.
Yeah, I was out cold, so there is not any part of me that wants to lift things that are metal towards my body. Not going to happen.
Right.
So you can attach these. They come with 5 different levels of resistance bands, which if you're a beginner, it goes all the way as low as you'll need it, all the way up to an advanced, and they're stackable. So imagine if you want to do flies, you've got your squat rack set up. There are options that you can use wall-mounted cleats and things. But nonetheless, if we're going the squat rack route, you can stack them up. So you can put a level 5 and a level 4 together, do flies. I do those types of exercises often. But what they're going to allow you to do is you can put them on any leg. So imagine if you don't have a ton of room, put them on the back leg and only stand about 2 feet from the squat rack. If you've got tons of room, it doesn't matter where you mount them. Just put them on something and do your exercises.
I think the important thing with specifically the resistance bands is not only are they, and maybe that's where they get the weird name, not only are they going to help if you're doing the heavy work, they're really, really good for the rehab and the prevention work.
Yeah.
And that's where you get, like you've talked about, blood flow, but the bigger thing is through a full range of motion. And so adding a resistance band to your home gym means that you get to continue any rehab program that you've started with maybe a doctor or a physical therapist back at home naturally and easily.
Well, anybody that goes to the gym or enjoys exercising or has been to a rehab facilities, there's always resistance bands to use. Or not even resistance, but like pulley-based systems, right? So you can get on cross cable machines, all those things. Those exercises are a lot of fun to do. So when you're at home, you don't really have to get rid of those. That's what's kind of nice about the attachment point on this type of a resistance band is you can still do all those types of exercises. But I'll quit pitching the Fusion Cables now.
Sure.
And we'll just talk about the exercise.
Resistance.
Yeah. So when you put resistance bands on, you need heavy ones. So a lot of times I feel like when people get resistance bands, they think of them as being super, super light.
Yeah.
And you can really do cross cable style machine-ish exercises with bands as long as they're heavy enough. And most of them, if you stack them up, you can kind of
get even heavier.
A lot of single arm flies. You can do reverse flies. You can do any type of a push down movement. You can also get into ballistic bands or the thicker style. I would highly recommend a round of those. And the reason for that is because you can do all your assisted pull-ups with that type of a resistance band. They're very thick. They're 41 inches long, and they can assist you in that capacity. But when you work out for a really long time, you kind of just have a set group of exercises that you like to do.
Yeah.
So what I normally do with that type of band, I do assisted pull-ups all the time because sometimes I'm a little heavier than other times, so I need a little kick up.
Sure.
Tricep extensions are also really great with resistance bands. Throw your weightlifting rope through it, and you can do tricep extensions. They give you an awesome feel. Some other great exercises with that particular item would be straight arm pulls with a lighter band. And that pretty much does it for what I'm using that particular, or stretching. But other than stretching, that's probably what I use those for the most.
Now, a lot of those are arm. Like I'm hearing a lot of arm stuff, but
Yep.
I know that's not it.
Yep.
So let's move down the body. What are some of the resistance band options when we move away from just the arms and shoulders?
So what I've been doing a ton of is backpedaling and resistance walking. So if you use a longer resistance cable, we've got an option called the Victory Ropes.
Mhm.
There's 4 bands locked up inside of a safety sleeve, similar to the Fusion cables. And what I'll do is you put them around your waist and you can do back pedals in your workout room. And what that'll do is strengthen your knees, work your glutes, your hips. If you really load it up with an awful lot of resistance, you kind of feel it in your hips and your butt and everything. I've kind of started moving a lot more towards that version of leg exercises, doing resisted back pedals or pushing, in addition to resistance bands, lunges. Body weight movements is kind of really taken on as this body gets a little older, that whole,
Right.
Bar squat thing is just, my knee doesn't like it anymore. So
That's kind of what I wanted to get into next, because I think that some of these things are, people think about home gyms like, oh, well, I need to replicate everything I have at a gym.
right.
And I think in reality, whether it is a supplement or whether it's your entire thing, calisthenics and mild resistance band additions can do a lot of the things that your body needs, especially as we get older and we're looking to not destroy something, but instead build it up and make sure that it stays bulletproof.
Well, volume and frequency is a big component of all this stuff. Just because you're doing body weight exercises doesn't mean that you can't build muscle or stay strong. You just have to take it to that extreme. Imagine standing there and doing weight squats.
Right.
All right. I started getting back into these maybe like 6 months ago because I had to get my legs a little stronger. I've been doing a ton of this sit down skiing thing, and I have to keep my legs strong because they move into my back, and I need my glutes strong.
Well, and you've been looking small.
Well, yeah. So you want to put a little size on the quads. You know what I mean? So be doing a bunch of body weight squats, and if you're just doing 20 reps, don't even waste your time.
No.
I like to do times, set a timer, and just do them repeatedly for a certain amount of time. And I promise you can get an awful lot of pump out of your legs, if that even applies with body weight exercises.
No, absolutely.
But, gymnastics and things like that have been doing body weight movements for a really long time. So as long as you are able to take it to the muscle's capacity, you're still going to get pretty great results.
And then on top of that, if you're looking to cut down on the time, because that's the other issue, if you're doing just body weight, you're spending more time because to go to failure, it takes longer. You throw a set of resistance bands, step on one end of it, the whole loop, and you just stand up in it like you're squatting a resistance band. You've now added just that much more energy to it and making it that much more harder so that you can cut your time down, but still max out with the effort, we'll say.
Yeah, I mean, if you spend a lot of time in the gym and you're going towards your home, this information or this advice is probably not going to apply to someone that really loves the gym and lifting big weights.
Right.
But if you've got kids and you start getting a little bit older and you realize that you're not pumping the iron like you used to, and you're just looking to do some of the exercises that you really miss doing, and you know that you have to do others to make your body quit hurting.
Right.
You get into a little bit of this body weight style movements like your squats, your lunges. It's great for your back. If you want to keep your back healthy, you've got to keep your hips mobile. So in that way, do we need to load up squats as you get a little bit older? I don't know.
I don't want to.
I definitely don't want to, but I've been feeling pretty good with full range of motion tension, head to toe, staying consistent with it. Keeping that full range of motion under a load is doing me pretty well as I get a little bit older, rather than trying to load up all the weight. And at home, it's a little harder to do it by yourself with tons of weight, with no spotters and things like that.
Sure.
So definitely this is a transition style workout to getting home and trying to keep you doing exercises that you enjoy doing.
So resistance bands, second piece of a home gym.
You got to have them. I mean, I think that you do want a variety of them. I don't think it's like, hey, go buy the kit off Amazon for $12 and like, oh, we've hit it. No, if you like to exercise and you want to lift some heavy stuff, you need heavy resistance bands. I would advise getting things in a sleeve, just so if you ever do have a snap, that you're not going to get whacked. And you also, I would highly recommend the thicker style, the 41-inch length, the ballistic bands, because it really does help with pull-ups and all those other types of exercise we talked about. So,
love it.
Yeah, there you go. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like if you want to hear the next one. I think we're going to get into some other items that you guys will like in your home gym. 4 total videos. We'll review it pretty quick for you guys.